stories in the weather where you live in the first 8 minutes. 8 News starts now.
Breaking news out of Chesterfield County. Virginia State University on lockdown after reports of a shooting on campus. This all happened at about 9 o'clock this evening. 8 News reporter Aaron Thomas is live on the scene now with the very latest. Aaron, what can you tell us?
Well, Amy, at this time, VSU campus is still on lockdown. We're actually located in the area near the football stadium. This is where police say that the incident took place, actually behind these iron gates. They're focusing most of their attention in this general area. Now, what we have learned is that one person has been shot and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, here's a look at some video from earlier this evening. Heavy police presence of Chesterfield County Police. Police advising folks to avoid the area if possible. And this happens to be homecoming weekend for VSU, and at this time a concert was still going on and people are still coming in and out of the area. Chesterfield police tell us that VSU police are handling the situation. The VSU police tweeted suspect information that has since been deleted, but described the suspect as a black male wearing a white jersey with the number 23. Now, not too long ago, police did tell us that no foot traffic or vehicle traffic is allowed in this area. Now, once again, we did say that one person has been taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say that they believe this is an isolated incident, but the campus is still on lockdown as they continue to investigate. Reporting live, Aaron Thomas, 8 News.
Also breaking tonight in Hopewell, police are investigating the death of a 2-year-old named Callie Dean Jones. 2 people, including his father, are now facing charges. The child's mother sent us a photo, this one here. Investigators tell us Jones was taken to John Randolph Medical Center unconscious with injuries. The toddler later died. Jones's dad, Aaron Watford, and Talisha Russell are both charged with felony child endangerment and possession of drug paraphernalia. Stay with 8 News for updates. Also breaking news in Powhatan County, all lanes of Route 60 are closed because of an accident. Drivers should plan to follow posted detours until further notice. We're working to get more information. We'll keep you posted here on 8 News. Also breaking in Church Hill, a man is fighting for his life after being hit by a GRTC bus. Police tell us it happened on the corner of 25th and Clay Streets. The man was riding his scooter at the time. He was rushed to VCU Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. Police say the driver stayed on the scene and is cooperating with officers. The investigation is ongoing. Taking a look at our other top stories tonight, news where you live in Richmond, where we are following a shooting that happened in broad daylight Saturday afternoon. Police tell us a man was shot around 3 p.m. in the city's south side. It happened here on Lawson Street. This is just 1 block from Hull Street Road. Police say the man drove himself to VCU Medical Center, where he's being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Keep it here on 8 News for updates. In Henrico County, police are investigating after finding a woman dead Saturday morning. Police found the unresponsive woman on Americana Drive near East Parham Road. Henrico police haven't released a cause of death, but our team's working to find out more information. In Charlottesville, the man you see here holding a makeshift flamethrower is facing charges. Corey Long turned himself in after he was wanted for assault and battery and disorderly conduct. Police say he was one of the counter-protesters at the August Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. We do want to turn now to the weather where you live. A cool, calm, cloudy night across central Virginia. Let's head on over to 8 News meteorologist Raquel Nakora for a first check of the forecast. Hi, Raquel.
Hey, Amy, thank you for that. And temperatures right now are in the 60s and 50s for today because those low-lying clouds, we really did not receive much sunshine. And because of that, we really reached a high of 67 degrees for today. I was forecasting something much higher, but when you don't get that sunshine, you still have those lingering clouds plus light winds. That sometimes happens to be the case. Temperatures right now, 64 degrees for Richmond, 64 degrees for Ashland, and 66 degrees for Farmville. Winds are very light, and this is allowing some patchy fog to develop. We're down to 3/4 mile visibility for Crew, 3 miles of visibility right here in Richmond. You can see, though, some rainfall making its way through Michigan. That's our next cold front that's moving in tomorrow night. For this evening, though, cooling down to a low of 60 degrees. And for tomorrow, hopefully we'll see more sunshine, warming up to a high of 87. To get weather on the go where you live, be sure to download the 8 News app. You can get it for free at the Google Play Store and the App Store, and that way you can get the hour-by-hour forecast.
Remember, 8 News is your local election headquarters this November, and a few big names were in the Commonwealth campaigning today. Former Vice President Joe Biden was in Reston with Democratic gubernatorial candidate Ralph Northam. He spoke at a roundtable discussion about workforce development. Biden praised Northam, saying he's the leader needed in Richmond. Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence was in Southwest Virginia campaigning for Republican Ed Gillespie. Pence was in Abington at the Washington County Fairgrounds. All eyes are on President Trump to see if he will make any appearances as the race for Virginia governor definitely heats up. Remember, 8 News is your local election headquarters until every single vote is counted. Keep it here on air and online at WRIC.com. Moving on now to that developing story in Canada, where a family is back home after being held hostage by terrorists in Pakistan. The Boyle family arrived in Ontario last night after being held by the Taliban for 5 years. Joshua Boyle says the Taliban raped his wife and killed their newborn child while in captivity. Now Boyle says for the sake of his children, he's happy to be home.
It will be of incredible importance to my family that we are able to build a secure sanctuary for our 3 surviving children to call a home.
Pakistan says the raid that led to the rescue was based on a tip from U.S. intelligence and shows Pakistan will take action against common enemies. President Trump tweeted today that relations between the U.S. and Pakistan are improving. On to the latest from the California wildfires. At least 36 people are now dead as 17 huge fires burn in wine country. About 100,000 people are under evacuation, and police are going door to door in the middle of the night trying to get people out of the area. More than 220,000 acres have burned, over 6,000 homes and buildings damaged or destroyed. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein has been kicked out of the Motion Picture Academy Board. Dozens of women have come forward in recent days accusing him of sexual harassment or rape. The Academy's governing board met Saturday, voting to strip him of his membership. The board oversees the organization that hosts the Oscars. You can get the latest top stories just like these on our brand new 8 News app. It has the news where you live, also the biggest national stories of the day. You definitely want to have it. Download it for free tonight from the App Store and Google Play. A seed planted more than a decade ago has grown into a venture that's changing lives from Virginia Beach to Africa. Stephanie Harris has the true love story that started at a concert.
Pictures of Africa accumulated over a decade and more than a dozen trips. The first one to find this sweet, scared toddler named Nahom.
And so I'm looking to see if I can figure out which one he is. And I find him, and then he smiles, and he has dimples.
That little boy is now 13.
I don't remember anything.
Neither does Arami, adopted about a year later.
They told me my parents died.
Soon, Gaines and her husband had added 4 adopted children to their family. That's how Habasha Mama was born.
So if you're Ethiopian, you're a Habasha. And because we have 4 children from Ethiopia, I'm a Habasha Mama.
And this mama wanted to give back to the country that had given her so much. So she started making trips with people from her church, going into a leper colony and setting up a daycare, installing water filters. They built a school and a halfway house for street children.
And most of the children work at night. They work selling cigarettes and tissues and gum and things to people at the bars.
It could have been her own boys.
I would probably have ended up just trying to work to help my family.
But Andrea believes adoption isn't always the answer.
There's no cape on me. I'm not running in to save the day.
Habasha Mama stands beside the Ethiopian people, providing opportunities so families can stay together or reunite in their own community.
I feel like Ethiopia is a beautiful country with amazing people. It's why I love it so much.
Now with Stephanie Harris reporting. Today, Habasha Mama held a World Food Fair fundraiser. To learn much more about it, visit our website, WRIC.com. We have some news where you live in Chesterfield County. A veteran and his family are in a brand new home. SunTrust Bank and the Military Warrior Support Foundation gave Richard Gooding a mortgage-free house. Gooding was wounded while serving in Iraq. He says he doesn't feel worthy, but he's extremely grateful.
We're excited to sit on the porch when all this is done and have that drink and know that we're home.
Gooding says he picked Chesterfield County because he and his wife were in training not too far from Central Virginia. They met 18 years to the day. Still ahead, a pop-up fashion show for a great cause. Find out why these models showed up today at Stony Point Fashion Park, and they're busting a move too. Plus, 60 people gathered in Jackson Ward to paint this mural. We'll tell you what this group is hoping to accomplish. Raquel?
All right, because of those low-lying clouds, we didn't see that sunshine for today, but tomorrow we are going to see more breaks in those clouds and even temperatures in those upper 80s. We'll talk more about that in your full forecast.
8 News closed captioning is sponsored by the personal injury attorneys at Emrock and Kilduff. One call, that's all.
Thanks for sticking with us. We are live at VSU where the campus remains on lockdown following a shooting. We've learned that one person has been taken to the hospital after being shot with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, the campus is pretty active right now. We want you to keep in mind that it is homecoming weekend. We actually have you take a look here. We have several students who are still walking campus, but they're being asked to avoid the general area of 3rd Avenue where police believe that the shooting took place. Now, you can also see here that we have some police that are on scene helping the students reroute them in different areas to avoid the area where the shooting took place. Some are also even being asked to leave their cars as the area of 3rd Avenue. Police are not allowing any foot or vehicle traffic at this time. Now, we're told that VSU police are handling the situation. They're asking folks to avoid this situation if at all possible. Police also say that they think that the shooting is an isolated incident, but the campus remains on lockdown as they continue to investigate. Reporting live, Aaron Thomas, 8 News.
And very much a developing story. We will continue to follow it for you. That story out of VSU. You can get the latest updates on this web story at WRIC.com. News where you live now. The All Shades of Gray movement held a pop-up fashion show today. This was at Stony Point Fashion Park. The mission is to help teens going through what the group calls a gray area of their lives. That's when they're having trouble balancing school, their social lives, and the pressures of finding themselves. The pop-up fashion show is a preview for the group's annual gala on November 18th. Don't forget to come out tomorrow to the Making Strides Walk. 8 News will be there to raise money for the American Cancer Society. This is Sunday. Registration starts at noon, so get there early. It's all happening at the Richmond Raceway. News where you live in Richmond. The next time you're in Jackson Ward, keep your eyes open for this project with a purpose.
About 60 volunteers of all ages roll up their sleeves and pick up paintbrushes. This wall on East Broad Street is their canvas.
I'm actually excited to have our thoughts and ideas on a big building. I think it's pretty cool.
The Unity Street Project teamed up with the nonprofit Girls for a Change and the John Marshall High School Action Team for this mural and its message for the community.
The girls are really focused on busting stereotypes of what a black girl is. And so the faces pretty much are the spirit of black girls.
The expressions represent moments where in different struggles or different livelihoods or different things that each women or women themselves or black girls experience.
Inspire other kids to do what they want to do and not be put down because other people say you can't do this. I mean, I made a mural. You can do something.
And those students involved say they hope this mural is the first of many. They are expressing themselves with a very unique platform. They have a message to get out there.
And what a great way to spread a message as well through form of art.
Yeah, it's very beautiful for that community.
And now I know everything was a little gray today, so maybe you didn't get to go out and paint a beautiful sunrise or sunset. If you're with me earlier this morning, though, and you were taking a live look outside, kind of looks spooky because we had those low-lying clouds, and we just saw the lights coming out of downtown Richmond. It mix up green and light blue. It's really exciting to see. And for this evening, though, not seeing much on the radar, but we are seeing a little bit on the satellite. Those low-lying clouds, again, that we've been experiencing all day today. And because of that, temperatures really didn't warm up much. I was forecasting temperatures in the 70s. Well, today we only reached a high of 67 degrees. Well, technically, it's after midnight, so I should say yesterday. We are still dealing with some drought conditions, abnormally dry conditions in yellow here. Meanwhile, towards the South Hill more, so we're seeing moderate drought conditions. So we could still use a little bit of rainfall For your futurecast, starting off at 6:30 in the morning for Sunday, we'll start to see those clouds retreat from the south to the north. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it is looking much sunnier, and this is when we're going to see that nice warm up that we've been anticipating. By 7 o'clock in the evening, still looking nice and clear. Our next cold front, the one we were talking about making its way into Michigan this evening, that's going to make its way in overnight into Monday. Not seeing a lot of rainfall from it. It'll clear out nice and early during the day. We're looking at 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Most of the showers beginning to move through Williamsburg, the lower peninsula. And by 3:30, everything's cleared out. We'll start to see some breaks in those clouds, maybe even mostly sunny skies as we make our way into early evening hours. So by Monday, 6 o'clock in the evening, I could see us receiving maybe 1/10 of an inch here in Richmond, with most regions just seeing less than 1/4 of an inch. We are seeing a little bit of moisture. Again, no rainfall, but in the form of patchy fog, and it's with those light winds and cool temperatures in the 60s. Currently at 64 degrees for Richmond, 64 degrees for Emporia. For tomorrow, the sun is back out. We'll warm up to a high of 87 degrees in the afternoon. Here's a quick look at that 7-day forecast. Monday, that's when we're going to see those showers in the morning. We'll begin to dry out in the afternoon. And then from Tuesday into next weekend, temperatures feeling a little bit more seasonable, more sunshine on the way. We'll see you right back here after this break.
Share your news with iReport 8, sponsored by Sona Bank. 8 News, sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. 8 Sports is sponsored by the Haley Automotive Group.
You're still up with us. That means you've been waiting to get your local sports wrap for the evening. I'm Chip Riera. Why keep you waiting? Virginia trying to improve to 5-1 for the first time in a decade. We go to the fourth quarter with 3 to play. Virginia up 20-14 on 3rd down. Kurt Benkert hit, loses the football. Tar Heels on top of it. First fumble lost by UVA this season. Worst possible time. 4th and 9 though on the ensuing drive. Brandon Harris for the Tar Heels, tripped by Chris Peace, who's take over on downs. 2014 the final. Virginia Cavaliers, folks, are now 5-1, their best start since 2007. 1 win away from being bowl eligible.
And that's really what football is. You just keep bouncing back and getting up and making corrections and adjust and match up and adjust again, and then hopefully you make 1 or 2 more plays than the opponent. And the last 2 weeks, that's what our team has done.
College game day in Harrisonburg for the top dogs. James Madison hosting Villanova. Lee Corso taking the Dukes. Second quarter, Brian Shore looking to pass, hooking up with the freshman tight end Clayton Cheatham. Name sound familiar? It is. 34-yard reception from the Hanover Hawk product, setting up a scoring drive. Now with close to 3 minutes to go in the half, it's Shore finding Cheatham again, but he's not going to be stopped. He wants that purple end zone, and 7 points, his first touchdown of the afternoon. The Dukes make good on Corso's pick and save Mike Ryan in the grid of death on the Le Batard Show with Stu Gotts. Hey, it's a reach for a reference. But either way, 38. JMU over Nova in Harrisonburg. Spiders in the land of crab cakes. Maryland facing Towson. Kyle Laletta can sling it. Finds the LC Berg graduate Tyler Wilkins, putting the Tigers on skates. First score for the junior receiver of the game, 14-0 UR. Led 17-0 at the half. Fourth quarter, Laletta, the icing on a career day record-shattering cake. A 6th straight 300-yard game to eclipse 9,000 yards in his career, passing Eric Ward for the all-time record. He now owns passing yards and touchdown records in school history as Richmond wallops Towson 23-3, second W in a row.
Feels great. You know, I know there's a lot of unbelievable quarterbacks that have played here. And just to have that honor is something really special. Started the win streak against Albany. I said, let's get on a roll. Let's get on a winning streak. And, you know, I think we were inconsistent at times, but, you know, that's 2 in a row. We're rolling, and we'll carry that momentum into next week.
Dinwiddie head coach Billy Mills checking out his former quarterback Bryce Witt of Shawan facing Virginia Union at Hovey Field. Focus just quickly back to the Panthers from the word go. Darius Taylor popping the lid off the Hawks defense. Jaden Rivas in the zone. First of 3 touchdown receptions, Virginia Union remains unbeaten in conference play with a 35-10 win over Shawan. Homecoming in Ettrick for Virginia State hosting Bowie State. Check out the Trojan flare on the sideline. The I Make Play chain, part of the fad making its way through college football. Well, somebody who is about to don that chain on the sideline, Cordell Rawl Cook. 55 yards for his 5th offensive touchdown of the game. That made it 47-28 over the Bulldogs. Dap him up. Cook rocking the chain, having scored the decisive touchdown to put Virginia State over Bowie State 47-35, the final score. Trojans still undefeated in 2017, 6-0 and sitting atop the CIAA in first place.
It takes other guys stepping up, and we had that with Cook. We had that with Josh. He's made a big play. Quincy Parker made some big plays. So, guys are stepping up, making plays. That's what this game is about.
It wasn't all college football on Saturday. At the Siegel Center, the VCU Rams held their annual black and gold scrimmage. It was a soft opening in the seats, but traffic to the stew was already in midseason form. Gold defeated black 56-45. Justin Tillman, who you just saw there, sat out with a sprained ankle. Freshman Marcos Santos Silva had a double-double, 13 points, 11 boards for gold. Sophomore Dariante Jenkins had 12 points for the black team. The most impressive player on the court today, Benedictine product and grad transfer Chris Lane with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Head coach Mike Rhodes called today a sloppy scrimmage, but a few bright spots provide optimism.
Our ownership in the team has gotten better every week, where here's what we do, this is who we are. We're going to do it better and better. It sounds great until you have to do it every single day, and fatigue sets in all the time. And now we're getting better and better because we're just fighting through that, and guys are pulling each other through it.
Last but most certainly not least, Goochland's Justin Verlander was all vintage Cy Young in Game 2 of the ALCS for the Houston Astros, striking out a career playoff-high 13 Yankees in his second complete game in an ALCS game since 2005. All that remained, Starlin Castro versus Carlos Correa, advantage Correa. Bottom of the ninth, tied at 1. Jose Altuve is blazing for home. Double in the gap, and he's safe. Verlander and Correa key the Astros to a 2-0 series lead in walk-off fashion, 2-1 in Houston. Reaction from the Goochland native on Good Morning Richmond. That is the local sports you crave. I'm Chip Riera, and it is time to dip. More news after this.
Welcome back. Another check on that 7-day forecast. I would say bust out the sunglasses for tomorrow afternoon. We are going to see southwest winds return. That will help just clear out some of those clouds. Monday morning, it'll be a dreary and cool start to the day. Temperatures falling through the day.
And of course, we're continuing to follow that story, that lockdown at VSU. Go to WRIC.com for the latest.